including Brian. Brian, we miss you.
Wow. I can't wait for next year.
I've been feeling like that for the past 2 months.
Interesting.
How are you?
Oh, so good. Cannot believe week 14 is upon us. Hippopotamus.
Yeah. Well, we missed you, I was saying. We missed me too, but I kind of still think that we need to why does fantasy end at the most busy time of the year for everyone? What's up with that?
What do you mean? Like, why is that inconvenient?
Yeah, for our podcast schedule at least.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of it has to do with your big promotion. Now you're kind of a big wig, so you got a lot going on.
That's true. I am in charge of many, many Slacks.
Well, is this your background when you work?
This is my real background, yeah.
I see a Wheel of Time book.
Yeah, no one's commented. I think people think it's fake, which is okay.
Yeah.
Brian, how are you feeling? We've heard some of your feelings via text, but you have a stage right now to tell us how you feel in the flesh from your lips.
Meh. I don't know. Fine. Feel like anything could happen. You know? I have a bye this week. It doesn't matter what happens to me. I think in general, I think we really have become kind of a super league, which is totally fine. But it's just like, I don't know. We should get into it because there's a lot of pluses and minuses. In fact, is this a good time to look at the standings?
It is indeed.
All right. Well, let's look at the standings. As of right now, we have Steven in first, Josh in second, Taylor in third, me in fourth, Bled in fifth, Nate in sixth, Gliscren in seventh, Bo Runston in eighth. Seventh and eighth are the only two people who can either win or lose, right?
Excuse me.
Okay. I think you're out. Sorry, but maybe you would need to go. You need to win. You need to go 2-0 this week, which is possible with your team, and you would need neither of those teams to win one. So they both need to go 0-2, which is totally possible. But first, let's talk about if Gliscren and Bo won't even do median because median's its own thing. But they both have pretty much identical points for and identical records. So it'll come down to probably whoever scores more points this week, right?
Yes, but yeah, I don't know what Taylor's going to do with his lineup because he had a lot of buys, but Taylor is a much tougher matchup than Luke historically.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, we can't predict that, but we can't. Well, I don't know. It's kind of tricky. So then Gliscren has the lead here because they have the softer matchup. They could lose to the median. Yeah, I don't know.
My spoiler is I think Gliscren get the 7 seed.
Wow. Now looking at Taylor's, I remember I mentioned this 2 weeks ago. Taylor's week this week is like a bipocalypse week. Look, he has no quarterback. He's missing a wide receiver. He has Vidal, who's now going to be splitting reps. He has Jefferson, who has no quarterback. He's in a tough spot. Trey Henderson, May.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. He's in the playoffs, so he has to start a legal lineup. He has to get a quarterback. He has to start him.
I don't know. Last year he pulled some shit. Wonder if he's trying to do that again.
Oh well, the rules are you have to start a legal lineup, right?
You heard it here, Taylor.
But that's our rules.
He did it last year and he got away with it.
How?
I don't know. There was no punishment czar.
Oh. Okay. All right. If you don't start a legal lineup, you're out of the playoffs. Easy.
New spot.
Yeah, because everyone's doing it. You can't just have some people playing by that. And it is a part of fantasy to pick your lineups and whatnot, I think I could see some argument around, well, it's my decision, blah blah blah. But
I think you have to. I think that it is most fair, especially because we have median and with how many implications are on the playoffs, you have to set a legal lineup. So
yeah,
Taylor, get your shit together.
I think that's a pretty standard thing. Also, if you listen to the fantasy footballers, they just discussed this very thing, and the professional podcasters came to the conclusion of obviously they have to set a lineup. So let's look at his thing. We'll see how tough of a decision this is. Where is he at? He's up here. I mean, let's see. I don't. What's the worst?
Drop Michael Carter or Likely.
Yeah.
And pick up a quarterback, and you're fine. You can play DJ Moore.
Should have traded or something. Also, he's in trouble because he can't move Higgins out of his. Higgins is questionable. So.
Oh yeah, that is.
Yeah, this is a tough one, but I think in the fairness of the league, especially with median on the line, you always have to start a legal lineup, even if sure put in a backup quarterback. As long as they're technically starting, everyone's got to play by the same rules. Especially because of what's on the line. We're talking money, real money. Anyway, and speaking of real money, I also wanted to do this thing here. So we looked at this. This is the playoff schedule. Obviously, you're still in it technically. L4, Luke, and Mac are out. But I wanted to pull this up. This is a little thing I like to call our preseason predictions. See it?
Oh, I do.
Okay, so let's go through this. First of all, we nailed this. If they made the playoffs, I'm gonna make them green because we got it right. Okay. You got Nate right, but he got, he's lower than that, but he did lock the playoffs.
Yeah, if we're talking playoffs, he's in. Also, congrats, Nate. It's been a long time coming. Happy.
That's right. Wow, you got Glisclen right. I did too. But, well, actually, no, we don't know if they made it yet.
Yeah, so let's leave it for now.
I'm locked, so you got me. Bled is a TBD, right? Bled, Gliss, yeah. No, Bled's in.
Bled's in.
That's a crazy turnaround. It all comes down to one trade that they made that I gifted them. And I had a lot of crap for in the moment, by the way. Because several people were like, wow, taking advantage. And I was like, I think it's a really good trade for them. And I need a backup running back for the final stretch of the year because I have QJ and Dobbs. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I got Nate right.
Nate too.
We did not get. I got Bo right.
Bo's not locked yet.
He's not.
No, it's Gliss, Bo, Austin. All technically can make it.
But we got the rest of these wrong. Oh no, the rest of these wrong. Also, can we just talk about how we both had Josh bottom of the rankings? And Josh is, if we were to keep playing right now, Josh would be the number 1 seed. Like, can he get number 1 seed this week or no?
Yeah, he needs an 0-2-2-0 week, but he's in contention.
So Josh needs to beat Nate, which is totally doable, and get median. And he needs Steven to go. Yeah, he needs Steven to go 0-2 against you, which is unlikely. But okay. Well,
I got you.
Yeah, this is why the median matters so big. There's big implications in setting up a lineup.
Josh has made some. I know he spent a lot of money, but he's made some really good trades. Like, I'm looking at his week 1 lineup, and obviously Quinchon wasn't a part of his lineup at that point, but he's just made his team a lot better. He drafted Rico Dowdle. That's pretty impressive.
Dude, Josh has proven something. He has proven to us that his kids know a ton about fantasy football. But I think overall, going back to this tab, we were the most wrong on Josh and the most right on Steven, which is kind of funny. Also, Josh, I'm pretty certain started with league minimum, right?
Yeah, he was low. I don't know if it was the absolute.
It's pretty low, and he's in second. So that goes against my whole thing around this as a super league. Because who else started with money?
Taylor didn't have much money.
No, but Mac started with money and keepers, and he is I don't know if last place even does him justice at this point. He is. I have to keep scrolling all the way down. 2-24.
I think that's probably the worst record ever.
It is for sure the worst. The worst. I mean, there is something to say around points for. How is it always the case that the lowest person? I know it makes sense, but it's also he has the lowest. He has the lowest points for and the highest points against.
That's wild.
The points for makes sense. That should always be in the bottom. But the points against. But the points for.
That's pretty bad.
I guess, but why is it always the same person? That's what I don't understand. They give up. Anyway, I'd be interested in comparing us to other leagues and seeing, because I'm in a couple other leagues and there are people who are just like completely out of it because of injuries and things like that. It's pretty good league parity. I think we're doing fine. Anyway, what else we want to talk about? So what do we think about it all?
Wait. First, I wanted to check this. Close your ears, Mac. How many times do you think Mac has cracked 100 points this season?
One time, week 2. No, week 3. Is it week 2? He cracked it twice. Yeah, remember at the beginning of the year, I was making jokes about setting his line at 100.
Yeah, we would have made a lot of money if we took his 100.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah. Anyway, so
my gosh.
I mean, it can happen. It can happen to anyone. I think he's probably got things in the works for next year, but it can happen to anyone. It's even in redraft it's possible because, like, for instance, I'm in a league and I had Drake London, CD, and Lamar Jackson, who are all incredible when they're healthy, but they've never all been healthy at the same time this year. So there's just nothing you could do, right? You're always one spot behind. So, and it's very easy to have drafted those to gone like CD London in the first round and then Lamar in the 4th or something like that. Like, it's pretty possible. So whatever, let's write it out, see how we feel. But pretty proud of some of the people here. I really do feel bad because I feel like Alex is heating up. Like, I'm worried playing him this year, but this week, but he like could really start to step things up.
I don't think he should have sold. Like, he had the three like the best receivers in the league. I think he could have snuck into the spot I'm in, at least.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, this week he would have. This week he'd probably be playing for the to play in, and he would have Caleb and a defense to find, and he'd be fine. But you know what? That's the game. Freedom of choice.
Alex, you can't get lost again. You cannot get lost for 3 years in a row. That's all I gotta say.
I can't. I think he could start half his team against Mac. Like, it's gonna be the least close toilet bowl of all time.
As someone who's probably gonna be in the loser bracket, I'm not gonna shit talk anyone's teams because it's gonna come back.
No, you're actually doing great, because let's look at this. I was looking at your team the other day. You have bad luck, but Bucky is healthy now, which makes him and his whole team better.
Slaw.
And Jaden Daniels is coming back, and
you won't see him on this view. Yeah.
I thought you had one more thing.
I have Omarion coming back this week.
Oh, that's what it is. And you have Omarion Hampton. So you have like a pretty solid team the rest of the way out. I just don't think that you can catch up with
no, there's no way.
The two guys ahead of you. I mean, I won't even jinx you into that. It's impossible. Nobody could do it. It would be so impossible that could never happen.
Never, ever.
That's my early Christmas gift to you.
I've never lost to Steven before. Wait.
Yeah. I think Chris said it best as well, just reflecting that, Glenn has done a really excellent job of putting his team in a place to go to the playoffs while still being like maximized for next year. I don't know. I mean, Pickens is a keeper probably.
Yeah. Insane.
And they're like $5 off maximum. So love to see it. Love to see the fresh blood. I think, next year could be the year they change their name.
Maybe the year after.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at the standings really quick.
Sure.
I just want a quick run through what can happen here. we already talked about this. Steven and Josh can flip flop, but both of them they're 1-2, and it's very likely that they stay in the two spots they are. Yeah, this is good. And that's a bummer because Josh's team is good enough for a bye, but it's looking like he's not gonna have one. Taylor can't get any higher than he is right now, but he could drop all the way down to 6, I think. What's his record again? 17.
I don't know.
It's very unlikely he slips to 6. Nate would just have to go nuclear, and a lot of things would have to happen.
Let me look at that. So you're saying 17-9. You would need Nate to go 2-0. He would need to go 0-2, and he would have to score.
Nate's one more down.
Yeah, Nate would have to
score plus 50.
No. 1450 plus 50. You are right.
And then you guys, so Brian, Bled, and Nate, you guys all can just switch spots based on who wins, who loses. You have the tiebreaker, Brian, but it also is pretty close if Bled has a better week than you. So
good. I have McCaffrey on bye, and I have what's his name injured.
Yeah, that one guy.
He's playing tonight, though. That'd be crazy. But yeah, I would love to see myself go. I'd love to see it go 1, 2, 3. I'd love to see myself fit into where I belong. But I think the first round of the playoffs is going to be like a heartbreaker round. I think there's going to be, I would say that the 4 best teams right now are Steven, myself, Josh, and Bled.
Yeah.
I think there's a world in which 3 of those teams don't make it past the first round. Like it's like a real possibility because
if that happens, I think Steven is just like walking away with it. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean he paid for it. He sold for the future. He started with good keepers. He had a good strategy. People gave him some soft trades. So
I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I paid for it. And then we already talked about the dance between Gliss, Bo, Austin. Technically, all can get 7, but I think Gliss has the big advantage. And then in the loser bracket, Alex and Luke can flip spots, but who cares?
That's what I'm saying. Who cares?
Who do you have in the finals?
The finals?
Yeah.
Dude, I honestly don't know. I would probably have to say, if I just went off strength of team, I think Steven Josh is the best finals. Like if this stays it can play, right? Because Josh doesn't have to play Steven until the end. We won't know. I have to see the finals. I have to see like the brackets because that'll say a lot. If Josh were in the upper bracket, I would say bottom bracket is probably Gliss, Kren. I'm sorry, no, Bled. I think Bled has the bottom bracket if they swap. And I don't know, but that top bracket's good. This top bracket's hard. This is the hardest bracket.
That's why that bye is so nice because Steven just gets.
No.
I think the winner of the top bracket's going to be interesting.
Yeah. We always do this when this game is starting. All right, cool. Yeah, it's going to be a wild week. I think, we like to talk football, so we could keep going forever. But generally speaking, this week is going to be wild. It's so fun that for the most happening, I would say not even worth going over the toilet bowl right now because we want to see who's playing who. Reminder that the toilet bowl is the lowest score moves on, so you actually want to win out of that.
Right.
So I don't know if anyone's confused by that apparently, but that's how that goes.
And if you scroll down there, so that's why right now me and Bo we get the opportunity to have an extra win. So that's like why we almost have it's like an opposite of a bye. You get an
bye. You don't want to advance.
Yeah. One more thing, and I'm going to mention this in our text, but every year it's important to remember. Whenever you are eliminated from either bracket, so you lose out of the winner's bracket or you win out of the loser's bracket, your roster is going to get locked, and you can't pick up and drop anymore.
Right.
Again, that's just so that the people who still have skin in the game, have a lot wider player pool. if you have a locked roster and you still want to like set your best lineup, you let me know. I'll manually move them out, and that player will become ineligible to pick up. But it's a good reminder for everyone.
Wonderful. And a good reminder that we're lucky to have this game and lucky to have this league. And we're lucky that the Pilgrims settled America and taught the chickens how to breed corn. And now we have football.
Praise be to God. Amen.